Hey guys, it's your e-girl in crisis, Speedy, and welcome back to my channel. Now I put up a little poll, I got some texts from friends, some phone calls, actually sat down with Sarah Bear and started rewatching the Scream series. So for today, our video is going to be on the Scream film series. The first four, not the television, and obviously there isn't even enough on the fifth one right now to begin to discuss anything really with that. Now, I don't know how much makeup I'm going to be doing this time because I'm really genuinely excited. Because Scream has always been one of my favorite film franchises since it debuted in 1996. Now, with that being said, there have been a total so far of 4 films, 3 in the original trilogy, which seemingly, for a while at least, was it. We weren't going to get any more, but then Scream 4 hit, and it was incredible. Honestly, hands down, my order of the movies from favorite to least goes Scream, Scream 4, Scream 2, which sometimes we'll switch with Scream 4, depending upon my mood, day of the week, all of that jazz. Scream 3 is definitely my least favorite of the films. And that's just a personal opinion. Everyone's entitled to one. Hey, if you love it, good for you. If you haven't seen it, I'm not going to recommend it as something to watch. I mean, yes, it have some fun things, absolutely. But, I don't know. I mean, it did put a fun twist on stuff, kind of gave a new way to look at things for that time period. But the original was something incredible. And I mean, it led to, after the original dropped, caller IDs in homes, those sales increased exponentially. Everyone wanted one and needed one after the original movie. So, I mean, kind of impressive, honestly, that not only is it a good movie that to this day you can watch and still enjoy, and there's not many flaws in it, but just because it's my favorite movie doesn't mean I'm not going to point out just some little flaws that I've noticed over time. Other people have noticed over time. Some questions, some gaping plot holes, the usual. And I know, like I said, with the fifth one, there's already rumors circulating, fan theories that are hands down amazing fan theories. I am here for most of them. I support some of them, I agree with some of them, but we won't really know till the movie drops. Now, Wes Craven and Kevin Williamson did the originals. The original 4 were done by them, and unfortunately, Wes Craven passed, so the new one he's not involved with. From what I've heard and seen on the fifth one, yeah, I know I said we weren't going to talk about the fifth one. Guess what? I lied. It's staying very true to Craven's vision for the series, and something that he would have appreciated from what the stars returning from the previous films have said. But with that being said, the returning stars are obviously the big 3. Sidney Prescott, played by Neve Campbell, Gale Weathers, played by Courtney Cox, and Dewey Riley, played by David Arquette. Which, it's already phenomenal that they have the original 3 that have survived the first 4 films coming back. Like, that's amazing. I don't know. I'm fucking excited, okay? It is what it is. I'm excited. It's horror at its finest. But, so let's talk about the original. I mean, you had Drew Barrymore, Rose McGowan, Skeet Ulrich, Matthew Lillard, Neve Campbell, Courtney Cox. You had this amazing cast right out the gate. And initially, there was a lot of speculation around it that Drew Barrymore was going to be the final girl for the first film. People immediately were like, oh, she's a big name. She's really well known at the time. She was kind of a Hollywood it girl as well at that point. So people immediately assumed their final girl was going to be Drew Barrymore. And, I mean, it made sense to assume it was her. Just because at the time, young Hollywood, people loved her. But nay, if you haven't seen the Scream series, I'm gonna stop myself right here. Turn it off. Go watch it. Unless you're cool with spoilers, stick around, because it's gonna get busy. So the actual first kill in Scream, Drew Barrymore. Everyone's shocked. Like, wait. Drew Barrymore? She's dead already? This movie just started. And it was an epic kill. And everything that I've seen about it, read and looked up just involving the first film, the tears that she is crying are legit tears. Now, how they achieved this though was Drew Barrymore, like most of us, is a huge animal person. Just big animal person. Doesn't like when things happen to animals. I mean, I'm the same way. I'll admit, something's happened to an animal in a film or whatever, I have to leave the room. I even cried in the last Jurassic Park where the Brachiosaurus was dying. I'm an animal person, so I get it. But that is actually how they got her to cry for the first film, was they just kind of told her all these horrific things about animals, and the tears, they're real because of this. Which, I know, crazy. Wild times. But you will also notice throughout the film that there's, some things that aren't really, that looking back on, you're like, well, wait a minute. Someone really didn't think these scenes out and whatnot. I mean, you have Tatum, Rose McGowan's character, who is just, I love Rose McGowan. I think she's a great actress. I really enjoy her. I don't care if you don't. I do. She plays the best friend Tatum. Now, when she gets killed, it's the big party scene, the big bash. Bodies have been dropping, and they're like, you know what? Let's have a party. Because what could go wrong? There's a serial killer running around, but we're going to throw down. And I kind of respect that mentality, honestly. If I'm going to get chopped up, I want to be chopped up at a party. Not, somewhere sad and boring and alone. But when they kill her character at this party, she's hanging from a dog door, which, again, another thing, Mythbusters totally ruined this for me, because I'm a nerd. I was watching the Mythbusters, and they happened to do an episode about different horror movie stuff, and the one was for Scream, and could a doggy door in a garage even hold a human body? Which, no, it cannot. It would not have enough power to lift the body. But that's not even what I'm really upset about. What I'm upset about is it's a party. There's a whole bunch of people there. They show that the garage is on the side of Stu Marker, Matthew Lillard's character. Stay with me, people. It's on the side of his house. When people go to leave the party, no. I'm not gonna lie. I used to go to field parties in high school. Field parties, you get drunk, you don't really notice things. I get it. I'm not condoning underage drinking or saying it's acceptable. I'm just saying things used to be different back in my day. But anyway, so they show Tatum, hanging from the doggy door in the garage, whatever. Fine. But they show people leaving the party, going out the front door, and walking towards the side of the house where the doggy door is located. Now, at no point in time does anyone notice her. And here's my thing. I don't care how partied up you are, how lit you are, whatever. You're gonna notice a dead body hanging from a door. Then again, movie logic. So I can kind of forgive it, but it is something that does still kind of annoy me. And that might just be me being picky, but I do feel like it is something that, looking at the movie now, I see it and I'm like, okay, that was something that was overlooked. I mean, but that movie still had amazing characters. You had Jamie Kennedy bringing Randy Meeks to life. And Randy was the dude who knew everything about horror. Like, he was your go-to. He gave you the rules of what not to do in order to survive a horror movie. Number 1, no drinking. Number 2, no drugs. Number 3, no sex. And number 4, never, under any circumstances, say I'll be right back. Because it won't be. It's just horror movie 101, and these are things that held true for a long time during that era of movies. And I mean, Skeet Ulrich as the bad guy, wonderful. Just wonderful. And then you get into the second one. Some time's gone by, you know, Gail, Sydney, Dewey have all survived. Sydney's now in school. Randy's survived too. He's got himself a scar from being shot. Dewey's got his limp from being stabbed. Cotton Weary's in it. And again, I'm kind of just glossing over what makes these movies great, regardless. So, I mean, the second one, they pick it back up. You know, Sid's in college now, her and Randy. After the trauma they have endured, they went away to college, but they went to the same college. That way then, you know, they still have each other there for their support system. And then the opening scene is on Gale Weathers' book-turned-movie Stab. It has Jada Pinkett Smith and... oh, I'm drawing a blank. Anyway. At the beginning, everyone thinks this murder is a publicity stunt or part of the film. They don't even think they're witnessing a real murder. And that's the kickoff. Sarah Michelle Gellar's in it briefly, which I kind of have beef with because I feel like even though she was filming Buffy at the time, she was a well-known actress, and I would have liked to have seen her be in it longer than what she was. But maybe it was something with Buffy that she couldn't actually be there for a full motion picture. I mean, Rebecca Gayhart's in it, and if you haven't seen Urban Legend, check it out. It's another 90s, 2000s horror film that is phenomenal. And just watch it. It's worth it. It's worth the watch. And again, it's the same, you know, they're starting over. Timothy Olyphant's in it. Jerry O'Connell. And they're going through, and once again, someone dressed as Ghostface starts hacking people up, calling Sydney, asking her, you know, hey, you ready to die? Want to play a game? What's your favorite scary movie? We all know the question by now. And actually, along with that question, what is your guys' favorite scary movie? I'm curious. I want to know. Gotta ask. So that's how, you know, and it goes along the path. Now, unfortunately, our beloved horror movie rule giver Randy does not survive the second act. That is the main cast member just done away with. Which is unfortunate because Randy, really great character, really fun, really different. Anyway. My beef with that movie is outside the police station, partway through, you see Debbie Salt, and she's, going after Gail, asking her questions, just pretty much kind of antagonizing, I would say, being antagonistic, I guess. I'm not really sure, but what caught me was something she said, which, as I've pointed out before, would be something only the killer would know, or people who had been in the police station with Gail and Dewey while they were talking to the chief of police. And what she says is, if the killer is repeating the pattern from Woodsboro, wouldn't it make sense that the killer is from Woodsboro? Now, up to this point, the only ones who had put that theory together were the ones in the police station. So that would have been Gail, Dewey, and the chief of police. And that part is what, to me, was a red flag. And to me, it was another reason why I was like, ooh, I don't know that she should have said that. If you wanted her reveal to be a big surprise, and it still was a big surprise when you found out exactly who she really is. I mean, that was still a big surprise, but at the same time, by giving her that line, anyone who was watching the movie who caught that probably had the same thought I did, which is, how does she know this? Everyone else is just now getting to this point. How has she made this connection if she is not involved in some way, shape, or form? So that was kind of, the only real issue I had. And then it was the whole, with the reveals and stuff, that was fine. But they did point something out, and I strongly disagree with it. Because the one killer said it's simple. His defense was going to be blame the movies. Now, I'm sorry. At no point in time in my 30-odd years have I ever seen a link between violence in cinema, television, video games, and criminal activity. Like murder. Most serial killers are not going to be like, oh, the movies made me do it. No, you're doing that if it's a cop-out. As per the Scream series being based off of an actual serial killer. So I kind of don't like that being the defense because it's ridiculous. You can't directly correlate movies and violence, video games and violence. It's just not provable. It's nature versus nurture, not video games, movies, whatever people want to cry about. Anyhow. So, I definitely disagree with that being a statement made in the film. And again, that's just personal opinion on the matter. And this is my channel, so it's my fucking opinion. Deal with it. But, anyway. Sorry. But, the second one had some hilarious moments. Definitely when, Sid punches Gail. Again. For the second time. Hold on. This wing is gonna fight me. Nope. And there's the whole exchange between Hallie and Gail's cameraman, which is, did you get that on film? Yes, I got that on film. It was beautiful. It was amazing. Her cameraman's line of, I'm going to be back when y'all are doing something a little bit more Saved by the Bellish. Again, great line. Great little bit of fun to have with these characters. Which is something I appreciate because I love horror, but I like horror to have a little bit of humor thrown in and not be constant, like, heart attack inducing. No, I want my horror to be fun. Anywho, again, that's an opinion that I have. So, we get through Scream 2. We get through Scream 2 with, once again, Sidney, Gale, and Dewey. Still alive, still in the fight. And now we're adding Cotton Weary to the mix. Cotton Weary was in the first one as a guy who Billy and Stu framed for Sidney's mother's murder. He was the main suspect in the first one and used as a red herring in the second one. Third one kicks off LA. Sid's in the woods living like the fucking Unabomber. Shit's wild. Wild. So, as that's going on, Cotton Weary now has his own trashy Jerry Springer, Maury Povich-esque TV show going on, I'm guessing, from the description that's kind of given throughout the film. Not that it's discussed very long. Hold on. Y'all know the deal. There we go. Anywho. So, Cotton is the first one to get the phone call. Only this time it's not, what's your favorite scary movie? It's none of the things. It's someone calling as a fan. Talking to Cotton about, oh my god, I love your show, da 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 da. Then the voice clicks over. And the question is simple, not, what's your favorite movie? It's, where is Maureen Prescott's daughter, Sidney? Unfortunately, Cotton decides that he is not going to tell the killer what he wants to know. I give him credit because that's a super ballsy move, knowing that you're probably going to get killed for it. And he ends up, his girlfriend gets killed, and then he ends up getting killed like right out the gate. Dewey is already in Hollywood. He's helping with the Stab movie production. He's going to be the Woodsboro Authority, so he's there on that. Gale is at a press conference for a book. The police from LA come out and they talk to her and they're like, look, here's this picture. It was left at a crime scene. What does it mean? It's Maureen Prescott at a very young age. Which brings Gale to LA. They, more murders happen, more photos are getting dropped. There's a joke about a calendar being made, at which point they do reach out to Sidney. And the joke's made that she's living out in the woods like the fucking Unabomber. And when she comes in, she's like, oh, no. The killer, yeah. He just called me. I'm here because I got a phone call. Lo and behold, and this is where it lost me. It was her unknown brother from her mother's previous life in Hollywood before she came to Woodsboro. I don't know. I wasn't feeling it. I didn't think it was that great. I thought the movie had some good stuff to it. They brought Randy back in a video to explain the rules of a trilogy. They introduced us to Randy's sister Martha. And that was it. Now, Scream 4. Which again, like I said, is pretty much on par with Scream in my list of favorites. For Lindsay and Jason, I say this. Lemon Squares. Lemon Squares became such a thing in my house after seeing this movie in theaters and at home and buying it. Lemon Squares, one, it became something that was said regularly. Two, it became something that was just there. If Scream 4 was happening, damn, somebody brought Lemon Squares. And they were like, want to try my Lemon Squares? You're not cheating on your wife if you eat my Lemon Squares. Yeah. And four for me was they gave you new rules for the modern horror films. For not remakes or revamps, but what the modern horror movie rules were. And it brought you back to the beginning. It brought you back to Woodsboro. It shows Gail and Dewey married, living together, having a life. Sydney has taken this and she has written a book and she has used it to try to help other people, and she's come back to show her hometown her book and to start over, to start anew, to be like, this chapter's done, this is what I've done with all this, and then things go awry. And there's a lot of call outs to the original. And I will say the garage door kill in that, way better, way more believable, way just grade A quality horror brutality kill. I mean, and then you have to call out with the dog door, which while the girl who's killed with the dog door, it's not through a garage door when they find her. She's got the dog door on her neck. And again, that's a beautiful, to me, call out. You see a lot of the original cast almost die. And the killer, I was blown away in the theaters when it was revealed that the killer was Sydney's own cousin. The group of us that went, we were like, wait. No, this can't be right. This has to be a joke. This isn't right. Because throughout the movie, you believe that she's just as much of a victim. You believe that she is going to be the next Sydney. With everything that's happening and everything that's going on to this girl, you genuinely believe that she is not the villain. You want to like her, you want to root for her, and you want to see her make it across that finish line. So, it's wild. So good, so wild. I cannot say enough positives about that one, the original. The second. The third one, like I said, I'm not really a fan of. I am excited for the fifth one. And just noticing some stuff that's been going on. Now, I will say, if you watch all the movies, you will notice that Ghostface's costume is glittery and sparkly for some of them. And that his masks always change. You also may not know this, but the scary movies that were made, that was the original working title for Scream before it became Scream. So that's a little fun fact. Scary movies, they're hilarious. I love them. Well, I loved them up till 3. Then they kind of lost me, but anyway, this is your e-girl Speedy. Thank you so much for spending time with me and just listening to me ramble, hang out with some cats around the house. Take it easy. Be safe, and I'll see you all later. Bye.